Hi dear all. In this video today we'll be discussing about the stage discharge relationship. You all might be knowing this about the stage discharge relationship already because you have studied in your previous semester. The stage means the depth of water that is in a particular section of the channel, and discharge, the volume of water that is passing through the section by unit time. So there's a relation between stage and discharge. So what happens is, if the amount of water that is flowing through the river is increasing, obviously the depth of water or the level of water will be rising, and we cannot say that relation will be linear one, but it will be an increasing one. Of course, when there's more discharge, obviously the stage in the river will be increasing. So there might be a direct correlation, but it can be linear, it won't be linear. It depends on the type of channel. So that relationship, it's called as the stage discharge relationship, or that curve, that plot between the discharge and the stage of the curve is called as the rating curve. And we have seen different methods to find the velocity. So once you know the velocity, you can calculate the discharge, because you know the equation Q is equal to A into V. And in order to find that discharge only, we are calculating, or we are estimating the velocity using direct method and indirect method. And I'm not repeating the methods which you have already studied, so there's no point in repeating it. So that's what it's all about, the stage discharge relationship. So what you do is, you'll be sometimes what happens once you fix the relationship between the the discharge and the stage. So I'll be representing the stage as G and discharge as Q. So what you'll be plotting will be, you'll be plotting a GQ plot, the stage discharge plot. That's what you are plotting. And sometimes once you find the relationship between G and Q, it will be constant, or rather it will be fixed. Say for example, you have fixed the table like this. This is G and this is Q. You have got a value. Now what at location, what happens is, you will be calculating the depth of water. So you know the particular value of depth. So you can directly find the discharge going through the river. There's no need for the calculation of velocity and all once you have this curve. So that's the use of this rating curve. So once you have fixed the rating curve for a river or channel, what happens is, by directly measuring the depth, you'll be able to find the discharge going through it. So that's the use of the stage discharge curve. This is only applicable in case of rivers which is having a constant relationship. So when they are having a constant relationship, we can say that that relationship is permanent. What happens if it is keeping on changing? It's called as shifting. So the relationship is called as a shifting control. Otherwise, it is called as a permanent control. There are two types of ways in which you can have it. You'll have permanent control as well as shifting control. Okay. Now, when talking about the permanent control, so there's a relationship. Once you have fixed most of the case in our practical purpose, what we'll be doing it, we'll be assuming it to be having a permanent control. So for that, we'll be making the relationship as Q is equal to CR multiplied by G minus A the whole raised to B. This is a relationship for a permanent control. Permanent control means the relationship between G and Q is a constant, it's not varying. This is a relation wherein Q is the stream discharge, the discharge through the river, and coming to the other thing, the G, it's the gauge height or the level of water, the depth of water. Then A is a constant which represent the gauge reading corresponding to zero discharge. So this is nothing but a constant which corresponds to the gauge reading. That means when there is no discharge, when there's no discharge at all, what is the gauge? So what happens is, when there's no flow in the river, it doesn't mean that the river is empty. You might be able to see that sign during non-rainy season. Some of the rivers will be having some amount of water, but when in observation we cannot see any discharge. We won't be seeing any flow through it. So we cannot say that even though there is no flow, there is no stage of water. So alpha or A means the constant which corresponds to zero discharge. What is the gauge value corresponding to zero discharge? So that's the term A. and what you have is you have CR and beta, both are rating curve constants. So we'll be talking about this rating curve constants in the coming lectures or in the coming time. So we'll be dealing about that in the coming minutes. So this is how you have to do. So what you do is when you make a plot between, when you make a direct plot between G and Q, you'll be getting a curve like this. More or less, you'll be getting a curve like this. So for practical cases, what you'll be doing is you will be marking Q here, discharge here, which will be in meter cube per second, and the gauge will be on the x-axis, which is G minus A. That is the effective gauge, total gauge minus the gauge corresponding to zero discharge. So that will be plotted here. So you'll be getting a curve like this or this. It will be irregular. So what happens is when you are going for an arithmetic plot, so when you go for an arithmetic plot, you'll be getting more or less a curve. So in order to what happens is dealing with curves are quite difficult. So in order to make it quite easy, when you have a curve, to make it into a linear thing, you'll be taking the logarithmic plot. So these all things I hope you might be knowing it. So what you need to do is you have to prepare the logarithmic plot. So while preparing the logarithmic plot also, you'll be plotting the discharge and this G minus A will be plotted in a log scale. G minus A in log scale. So while plotting, you'll be plotting it in a semi-log sheet. So I hope you know about semi-logarithmic sheet. So it will be having x-axis as in a logarithmic scale. So then in that case, you'll be getting more or less a straight line. So I'm not saying that you'll be getting a straight line. You have to go for a best fit straight line. Here it will be going like this, a curve like this. So you cannot make a linear relationship there. So here you'll be getting some points in and around that thing, and you'll have to make a straight line. So that's how it's better that you convert it into this logarithmic scale. So if you take logarithm on both sides, what you get is you'll be getting the value log Q is equal to beta log G minus A plus log CR. Now I can go for a small rearrangement. I'm considering this to be y is equal to beta x plus b. So this is an equation of straight line, isn't it? So y stands for log y and beta is the same. Beta is the slope and x is log G minus A and this is the y-intercept. So that's why it is varying. So wherein I can write that your y is equal to log Q, then your x is equal to log G minus A and your b is equal to your log CR, which is nothing but your y-intercept. So I hope you are clear with that. So in order to find, so when you are getting the value, so after once you do the estimation or rather finding the values of discharge and the gauge, you'll be having a set of values and you need to plot a straight line between that. So what you have to do is there are two variables and you have to fit a straight line. You have to go for linear regression. We have already seen how to do a linear regression. So you'll be having set of values of Q and you'll be having set of values of G minus A, and what you need to do is you have to make it in this form, isn't it? So you have to fix the straight line. So you have to go for a linear regression. So how to find the linear regression values, what's the slope, what's the y-intercept, how to find it. So you have to do this. Whatever Q values, you have to take the log of Q values, you'll be getting set of Y value. Whatever G minus values, G minus A value you have to take the log for that. So you'll be getting X values. Then in order to find beta or the slope, by the theory of, or rather by the measure of least square methods, so it is nothing but n into sigma of xy minus sigma x into sigma y, the whole divided by n into sigma x square. This is not sigma the whole square, sigma of x square minus sigma x the whole square. So don't get confused with this thing. In this term, the square is for x, that is, you have to take the summation of x square. Here what you have to do is you have to first find the summation of sigma x, and you have to square it. So that's how you find the slope. And in order to find the y-intercept, you have to have the equation sigma y minus beta of sigma x divided by the total number of values. We have already seen this during the previous case wherein you are calibrating the current meter. So it's quite clear how to find it. Now in order to find how much accurate your value is, you have to use one term which is called as Pearson product moment correlation coefficient. So that is given by the value r, which is nothing but n sigma of xy minus sigma x into sigma y, the whole divided by square root of n sigma of x square minus sigma x the whole square. So that's the first term multiplied by n sigma of y square minus sigma y square. So this value you have to find r. So if the value is very high, it means that you are having a best fit, or the error is less. Say for example, you are getting a value very close to 1, 0.99. It means that it is very accurate. And if you are getting a value which is maybe like 0.4, it means that your straight line is very wrong, or it is having a lot of errors. So that's in order to find the degree of errors, you are finding this Pearson product moment correlation coefficient. So we have seen that in the earlier equation, Q is equal to beta into G minus A the whole, not beta, CR into G minus A the whole raised to beta. So there's a value called as A, and that A is nothing but the stage corresponding to zero discharge. And what happens is many times the estimation of that value in the field is quite difficult. You cannot go, because most of the time the river will be flowing. So what happens is you go there and you cannot wait till the river discharge becomes zero. You cannot determine it actually on the ground. So you have to find some way or the other in order to find the value of that A. So what you can do is you have to plot the value, or whatever data points that you have got, you have to make a plot of discharge versus Q. Sorry, discharge versus the G. So I'm talking about the arithmetic plot, not the semi-logarithmic plot or the logarithmic plot. You're using normal graphical paper and you are using this, and what happens is you'll be getting some curve like this, and you have to join the curve. In just an estimate value. Then what you have to do is, by eye judgment, what you have to do is you have to extend this you have to complete the curve. So if the curve is going like this, you have to extend the curve till it meets the y-axis. So what is this point? In this point, the value of discharge is equal to 0, and what else is remaining? No, sorry, not this. Sorry, what you have to is, you have to have the stage here. So stage in meters. So for estimation of zero discharge, that is A, it's better to plot a graph in such a manner that you have the y-axis for the stage and the x-axis for the discharge in meter cube per second. So when you extend it in such a manner that it meets the y-axis. So at the y-axis, it corresponds, the Q value is equal to 0, but you have some positive value for the stage, and that is nothing but your A. This is one of the crudest methods. So there are different other methods, and what I intend to say is that you have to find different methods through which you can find the stage corresponding to zero discharge. This is one such method wherein you can find A, and this is crude method. You extend the curve in which y-axis is represented by the stage and the x-axis is represented by Q, and when you extend it by eye judgment, where it is meeting on the y-axis, that positive value is called as your A value, or rather your stage for zero discharge. There are something like 3 more methods in order to find this value. You have to do your research and you have to find what are the different methods to find the stage by yourself. So now please try to open the PDF that I've already sent to you. That's the book by Book of Engineering Hydrology by K. Subramania. I've already given the PDF. I've already uploaded in your Google Classroom. So please open page number 141. So when I say page 41, it's not the printed page. So if you can see that in PDF, you'll see a box wherein you can type the page number. So that page number is 141, and if you're going to search the page number in the PDF, the printed page number is 125. So don't get confused. 125 is the printed page number, but if you scroll, what happens is the index page and all gets counted in the PDF file. So that page number is 141. So if you directly search, or rather put the values 141 first page number, you'll directly go to that. So the example is 4.4. Sample 4.4. So we can do this numerical now. So what is being asked in the question is you have to develop a stage discharge relationship. So you need to find the stage discharge relationship, and the table is given about the gauge reading, the discharge, and the gauge reading is from 7.65 meters to 11.70. So you'll be having the gauge reading. So gauge reading is the G reading. Then the discharge is also given. So this is what is been given, and you need to make a relationship between this. So we know that we have already seen that the relation is Q is equal to CR into G minus A the whole raised to beta, and you will be taking log on both sides. So while taking log, it becomes log Q is equal to beta log of G minus A plus log of CR. This is represented as plus B. So what you have to do is you have to find the log of Q value and log of G minus A value, and obviously what you have to do is you have to find the value for A, right? You have to find the value for A. Then only you'll be able to take the log of that, isn't it? And if you check the question, the value of A is directly being given in the question. So always remember, if this is not mentioned in the question, you have to find. And how to find it? You can go for the crudest method, which I've already explained. But for theory questions, you have to learn the other methods of finding the A value also. So what you need to plot is you have to just take a graph paper wherein you will be plotting the stage G value on the y-axis and the discharge in Q, and you will be getting a curve, an approximate curve, and you just have to extend it, and this value will be your A value. So that's how you do it in a crude method. Okay, now what you have to do is you have to find G minus A. So you have got G minus A. Then what you have to find X. What is X? X is nothing but your log of G minus A value. Whatever values you have, you find the value for X. Then what about Y value? Y value is nothing but log of Q. Then what you have to do is you have to multiply, because in order to find the value for beta and B, you know the equation. You have to find the value for sigma X, you have to find the value for sigma Y, you have to find the value for sigma XY, and you have to find the value for X square and Y square. So you have to find all these things. So once you have got XY, then what you have to find is you have to find the value for XY. Then you have to find the value for X square. Then you have to find the value for Y square. And what you have to do is you find the sigma of X, sigma of Y, sigma of XY, sigma of X square, sigma of Y square. Then once you get the value, you can directly substitute. You know the equation, beta is so and so, then B is so and so, and the last you can even find the value of coefficient of correlation. That's Pearson's coefficient of correlation. That also you can find. So try to do it rather than copying it from the textbook itself. You can do this numerical by yourself. Then you will be getting a feel of the question.